Should the economy be prioritized over the environment? This question has been at the forefront of media for quite some time. There isn't a week that goes by without some news station making a report about global warming or some new development that spells harm for the environment. Since the 1980s, the environment has always been prioritized over economic growth, and laws strictly regulated the growth of big businesses to prevent excessive pollution and the destruction of forests. But according to a recent Gallup poll regarding this subject, over the years, the gap between favoring the protection of the environment and expanding our economy has increasingly diminished. And during the years between 2010 and 2013, Americans have become more comfortable with economic advancement at the expense of the environment. Even though there have been numerous articles such as How Pollution Endangers Wildlife on marinebio.com stating negative consequences that pollution has on many different habitats around the world. We believe this change of opinion is possibly due to recent fears of recession beginning around 2008. But how can neglecting the environment be harmful to society? Why are people so nature blind to the true harm we are inflicting on our own planet? We asked Mr. Alto, an AP biology teacher at Sanger High School, what his opinion is on the subject. Hello, Mr. Alto.
Hi.
All right, so the first question is, should the growth of an economy take precedent over protection of the environment?
The answer is, it depends. It's a complex answer. You have to do really cost-benefit analysis. What are the costs to the environment at the benefit of humans? And make informed decisions, and not only include short-range consequences and cost to the humans, but also long-term costs.
All right, second question. How does neglecting the environment affect society in the long run?
Well, if you neglect the environment, it's going to come around and bite you in the butt. Basically, if you don't take care of the only place where you have to live, then you may cause your own destruction and extinction.
So, through our history, we can see that industrialization brings pollution and deforestation, both contributing to a decrease in biodiversity and animal population. Can you explain to us what is biodiversity and why is it important?
That's a good question. Biodiversity is basically a measurement of the different type of species in an ecosystem. Really rich, diverse ecosystems like a rainforest have a numerous amounts of different species. Hundreds of thousands of different species of insects and birds and mammals and even plant and bacterial and fungi, all that other stuff. And that biodiversity is important because, number one, it could be an untapped source of future medications. There's ethnobotany, where you're studying the cultures, different cultures in different places to study what they use plants for. So it's a resource that we don't yet know a lot of. The other thing is that ecosystems are in a harmonious balance. You remove or lessen the diversity of an ecosystem, you are, in essence, causing or the potential extinction or the destruction of that ecosystem. For instance, when you kill sea otters that eat urchins, well, the population of urchins explode, that eats kelp, and then when the populations of urchins explode, then the population of kelp disappears, and all the organisms that relied on the kelp are now gone, and all you have left with is a deserted barren of the sea urchins without any fish to eat or to enjoy, to dive. So we lose recreation and species.
So last question. Do you have any ideas on how we can promote economic growth while still protecting the environment?
Well, the thing is, don't be careful in governmental regulation and protect the environment. There has to be certain government protection, a basal level. But if the United States is the only country that is making its people not impact the environment as well, and other countries are growing economically, we all live on the same planet, and the cost of Americans and jobs and health, when we lose out to China and their deregulation, it's an issue. So I would say try to foster innovation and discovery and look at technologies and techniques that both help humans and the earth as well.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
While these problems are present here in the United States, countries such as China are also feeling the side effects of rapid industrialization at a higher rate. In a 2014 article by Lucy Edwards about China's rapid industrialization, she states, "China appears to be an economic miracle. Since reforms in 1978, it has grown to be the world's second largest economy with extremely rapid economic growth. where Western countries such as the United States and United Kingdoms took centuries to expand their economies, China appears to have miraculously done so in around 20 years. This rapid expansion, however, seems to have come at the price of the environment, with regular news reports focusing on the smog and poor air quality from many Chinese cities. Murray predicts that China will become the world's largest superpower, but will environmental damage halt the Chinese economy from further growth in the near future? All of this economic growth is causing an increase in the levels of carbon dioxide, which is fueling global warming, which we learned in an article of National Geographic on the causes of global warming, is caused by an immense amount of carbon dioxide and pollution, destroying the ozone layer, increasing the surface temperature of the Earth. We have seen that today's global fear of global warming has even caught the attention of our president in a 2013 speech by President Barack Obama, addressing his concern and fear of global warming and what Americans should do to prevent it. Another example of how big business has endangered the wildlife is during the 2010 BP oil spill, which caused one of the world's worst spills in American history, where 4.9 million barrels of oil polluted the Gulf of Mexico. It happened 4 years ago, and the Gulf is still not yet oil-free. So what can we do? Are there any possible solutions for the dilemma that we face? Is it possible to be both economically progressive as well as environmentally friendly? And the answer is yes. There are so many developments that can reap benefits for both the economy and ecosystem. According to a website called solarroadways.com, solar panels strong enough to be used as road systems have been invented. Installing these panels would not only create thousands of new jobs, the roadways would also provide us with solar power. So with technology such as this, we owe it to ourselves and to our planet to utilize them.